On October 18, 2023, the chief suspect in the disappearance of Natalee Holloway admitted to murdering her back in 2005. So why did the case remain unsolved for so long? In 2005, the disappearance of Natalee Holloway gained international attention as the 18-year-old high school student seemingly vanished without a trace during a school trip to Aruba. Although several suspects were identified and even arrested, for more than 18 years, no one was ever convicted of killing the teen, and no remains were ever found. But in October 2023, longtime suspect Joran Vandersloot confessed to killing Holloway as part of a plea deal. On May 26, 2005, Holloway traveled to Aruba with her Mountain Brook, Alabama high school classmates for their senior class trip. Natalee met Vandersloot on May 29 in a casino at the Holiday Inn Resort, where she and her classmates were staying. She agreed to meet him at the Carlos and Charlie's nightclub later that same evening. As reported by the FBI, Natalee joined a large group of her classmates at the nightclub that night. According to witnesses, the nightclub closed at 1 a.m. Approximately 30 minutes later, Natalee was seen leaving the area in a silver car with 3 men, who were later identified as Deepak Kalpoe, Satish Kalpoe, and Joran Vandersloot. The FBI reports the Mountain Brook High School students were scheduled to leave Aruba the following morning. Although they agreed to meet in the lobby prior to their departure, Holloway never showed up. Hotel staff confirmed that her personal belongings, including her passport, were still in her room. However, there was no sign of the teen on the premises. An official search team was organized the following day. Holloway's mother and stepfather were immediately informed she was missing under questionable circumstances. They rented a private jet and traveled to Aruba with close friends to assist in the search for their daughter.
Please help bring her home.
Local authorities were reluctant to declare Natalee officially missing, as witnesses said she willingly left the nightclub with Vandersloot and his friends. However, several groups, including locals, other tourists, and search teams from Texas and the Netherlands, organized their own search for the missing teen. Unfortunately, no trace of Natalee was ever found. Authorities identified several persons of interest, including Vandersloot and the Kalpoe brothers, in the days following Holloway's disappearance. Although all 3 men admitted they left the nightclub with Natalee, they told different stories about what happened after they left. Initially, Vandersloot said they all visited a local lighthouse before taking Natalee back to her hotel. He later said he left her at a beach near the hotel with the expectation that she would walk the rest of the way. Deepak and Satish Kalpoe corroborated Vandersloot's story about leaving the teen on the beach. As there was no body or any physical evidence proving Joran Vandersloot or the Kalpoe brothers harmed Natalee Holloway in any way, they were all eventually released from custody.
Joran Vandersloot is back in the Netherlands after being released from custody in Aruba.
Authorities received numerous tips, but a vast majority proved to be false or misleading. In February 2008, a Dutch reporter secretly recorded Joran Vandersloot telling an acquaintance that Holloway collapsed while they were at the beach in the early morning hours of May 30, 2005. Joran said he attempted to revive Natalee, but it was simply too late. Instead of reporting the incident to police, he and a friend put her body in a boat and dumped it into the ocean. When he realized he had been recorded, Vandersloot said he fabricated the story. In 2010, Vandersloot's attorney contacted Natalee Holloway's mother, Beth, and said Vandersloot would reveal the location of Natalee's body in exchange for $25,000 initially and $225,000 more once she was found. Beth wired the money to Vandersloot's bank account, but he insisted he lied because he needed the money.
Told a lot of different stories. I'll do it again.
Authorities still did not believe they had enough evidence for a conviction, but that exchange eventually led to an extortion charge, which was the catalyst for Vandersloot's long-awaited confession. Although he was never officially charged in the disappearance and death of Holloway, Vandersloot was arrested for murder in May 2010 and pleaded guilty to killing 21-year-old Stephanie Flores in a hotel room in Lima, Peru. He was ultimately sentenced to 28 years in prison. All along, Vandersloot maintained he had nothing to do with Holloway's disappearance or death. Authorities insisted there was simply not enough evidence to charge him with the crime. In the 2017 Oxygen documentary, The Disappearance of Natalee Holloway, a man named John Ludwick claimed that he helped Vandersloot dispose of Natalee's body. Ludwick said Vandersloot paid him $1,500 to dig up Holloway's remains, which Vandersloot reportedly buried on the beach. Ludwick said he was also instructed to crush and burn the remains. A forensic examination later revealed the remains did not belong to Holloway, according to Newsweek. Less than 1 year after the documentary was released, Ludwick was killed by another woman whom he was reportedly attempting to kidnap. At the time of his death, there were no charges pending against Ludwick in Holloway's case, and he was not named an official suspect. Over the years, the FBI continued to actively seek any information about Holloway's disappearance and suspected murder, but that never came to fruition. Instead, as part of a plea deal stemming from the extortion charges, Vandersloot wrote a proffer in which he admitted that he killed the high schooler. Vandersloot confirmed what had long been suspected, yet he is not charged with Holloway's murder. That was part of the plea deal. Instead, U.S. Judge Anna Manasco sentenced him to 20 years for wire fraud and extortion. As part of Vandersloot's plea deal, the new 20-year sentence will be served concurrently with the one he's already serving in Peru. During his sentencing, the judge said, "I have considered your confession to the brutal murder of Natalee Holloway. You have brutally murdered, in separate instances years apart, 2 young women who refused your sexual advances. The Dutch citizen will return to Peru to serve the rest of his prison sentence. As for Holloway's remains, it's still unclear whether those will ever be laid to rest."